but she does all the scheduling. But every now and then I just get a vibe, and I saw your post. Oh, where is it? Are we on? Let's see. Hang on. Huh. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me
tells
take
me
it.
we are on.
Yeah, I saw your post, and I'm going to try to recall what it was. It's going to take a couple of minutes for people to get in here.
No problem.
There we are. Eliza, Mozal,
Yes.
Mozal, a Mozal, right?
Yeah. Mozal.
Eliza, Mozal. Yeah,
Yes.
I was in Chicago back in the late '90s, uh, business, and I had a lot of contractors, and most of them were Polish. And
Working with lots of Polish people.
I hung around them a lot. I had a
Nice.
different lifestyle then, but man, those people like to drink. It's so funny because I was in the construction business, and I'm from Texas, South Texas. So a lot of our labor force was Mexican. And so I would get complaints over the years. People would say, nobody's out here that speaks English. And I'd have to deal with that. And so my first day in Chicago, first day I get there, get to work, and I get this customer on the phone screaming. And so they get me the phone, and she says, there's no one out here that speaks English. And I said, what? There's a bunch of Mexicans up here too, like me? But they were Polish. They were Polish.
Yeah.
Chicago has the largest Polish population in a city other than Warsaw,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Even the Polish movies were never like, even the Polish movies, like even from 70s, like huge big classic comedies, they are about Polish people going to Chicago and back.
yeah. Yeah, I had a really good time with them. I really enjoyed the Polish people. They were really good to me. They treated me very well, very well. They hardworking people. So Elisa is with us today, and the way this happened was I saw a post that she put up in the Soulogy group, and thank you for posting in the Soulogy group. And I thought it was very powerful because it spoke to some of the things are part of what we're all faced with, or so many of us are faced with, which is making these decisions to extract ourselves from the pre-existing lifestyle to include where we live, who we're with, what we do for a living, and all that. And I don't remember all of it, but I remember you talking from the heart, from the human, and saying, I didn't want to do this, but, this is, I guess in just to paraphrase everything, I'm listening to the guidance, and I'm going to honor that. And then I think it started to talk about some of the other side of it. Like, I stepped through my fears, and my life is, I got a great partner, and I'm in Florida and so on. But I don't know, do you want to add anything for everybody to just kind of get a feel for what that post was? Do you remember it?
Yeah, of course. It marks now exactly a year ago when my whole life has changed. Um, because I've been on this journey for a few years, and I've been learning to recognize my needs and learning to fulfill them myself instead of chasing something or someone that would fulfill them for me. So I've been starting to learning on my own journey. How can I love myself more and embrace that human side of me, not just that spiritual part? Because I was big into the spirituality and big meditations and so many visions, and we can talk about it for days. But there was this human part of me that was not allowing me to enjoy my human existence. And if I am in a human body, I am here to enjoy that part as well and transmute through the humanity, through the human part of me, some of the lower frequencies so they can return back to the light. So for some time, I was living this life that felt sometimes like double life. I would feel so phenomenal as a spiritual being and helping people and sharing my light, but that human side of me was unhappy, unfulfilled. I am in this job that I know my heart tells me I cannot be here any longer, but how am I gonna pay my bills? What am I going to do? So I dove deeper into healing journey, expansion, and deeper into that guidance, going blindly to the old way of being and just allowing that heart to lead me forward, even with a decision like quit your job and trust that divine guidance that you will be taken care of. And this is nothing that I would do. I
Right.
was in debt. I was not in position to rely on anyone and anything yet, and I had just a little bit of savings for like maybe a month and a half of paying bills. That's it. Yet my heart told me, you cannot do this anymore. You cannot do this any longer. You have to get yourself out of here. And that was not in anger. That was not in resentment. That was when I was deeply at peace with being in that place, when I was okay with being there, even if my soul was telling me, Eliza, it is time to move on. And I did, and I quit. And straight after that, my finances improved rocket sky. I received more clients that I could handle. 2 days later, on my, again, hard guidance, I was flying to Mexico. Not knowing what's going to happen, just knowing that I am meant to go and spread light by my own example, by my own action taking, that it's based on heart coherence, that it's based on living through something someone might call 5D way of being, or living in the heart from the fourth energy center. So that's what I did, and life has never been the same.
How long
since
ago
then.
was it when you quit your job?
So, oh my God. So tomorrow will be exactly last day
1 year?
of when I was in 9 to 5, and I never went
You
back.
can't make this shift up.
No.
So you
Thank
you
you.
quit your job. Now, where were you
Yeah.
living when you quit your job? Where were you
So I
living?
was living in a home. I had a mortgage on that home.
In the States or where?
That was in Scotland.
In Scotland,
So
okay.
I spent half of my life in Poland. I'm from Poland. And then half of my life I spent in Scotland. I moved there when I'm in my early 20s. And that was in Scotland.
So I know I can also pick up the vibes from your partnership. And, there's a lot of that happening. There's a lot of that happening around the world. So there's something going on there, these new relationships. Did that come after you quit your job, or had that already started?
No, that was already started, but not face to face. So when I went to Mexico, I didn't have a guarantee that Andrea is gonna come and meet me there. I couldn't. I was already in a way of being where my feeling of safety and security or my decision making is not depending on what other people will do or not do. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So I was already in a relationship, but we never met face to face physically.
So you were
yet.
connected. So yeah, for all
Yes.
intents and purposes, you weren't totally in the.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can be. I mean, Morgan and I did it for 18 months
Okay.
before we came together. But still, you're right.
Wow.
You don't know until you stand in
Yeah.
front of that person. So, so you quit your job, and your soul tells you you need to go to Mexico,
Yes.
and you're just taking on clients, and it's just
Yes.
working. And then you tell, is it Andrea? Is that her name?
Andrea. Yes.
Andrea, you tell Andrea, where's she from, by the way?
Here from Florida.
Oh, okay. So you tell Andrea, let's meet in Mexico, and you don't
Yes.
know if she's going to show up, but you're okay
Well-
whether she does or she doesn't, is what you're saying.
Yes. 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 Because when I got to the airport, my plane ticket was booked to go to Florida, to Orlando. And I had all the visa, I had all the permissions in that time of travel to travel. But I'm showing up on the airport. What that lady is doing, she picked up the phone without waiting for anyone say anything on the other side. She she kind of like pretends she has conversation with someone, and she tells me I am not allowed in States. And I just stood there and I just knew it. Oh my goodness, what's going on? What's happening? And I started realizing, okay, I cannot here argue. I can only just stay in my heart coherence, bless her, send her love. Understanding person who is limited will be limiting others. So if you are bound by limitation, you will be spreading limitation. It's not that it's a bad person, nothing like that. It's just that that's the frequency that that person was on at for this reason or another, which gave me opportunity to step even more boldly into that guidance. I call it divine guidance. And I called Andrea. Her phone was off because it was the middle of the night for Andrea. And then maybe 15 minutes later, Andrea all of a sudden woke up in the middle of the night and had a feeling, I think Eliza is going to be calling me. So Andrea called me back and we're talking about, okay, what do we do? What do we do? Because my heart tells me don't go back. It was only 45-minute drive back to my home, but my heart tells me don't go back. Don't go back. Doesn't matter what, don't go back. Go forth, keep expanding. I just knew it that that's the path to stepping bolder into my new frequency of what is it possible for an individual to do in these times, especially when there is so much no, you cannot do this, you cannot fly, people don't travel, it is impossible, yet it's happening. So we, on that time on the phone, we made a decision, okay, let's go to Mexico. And Andrea joined me a few days later, but there were moments where I'm like, is Andrea gonna come and join me or not? And both, either or, I was okay with.
Wow. So that's how it works though, isn't it? Like you get the
Yeah.
guidance, you go the direction you're supposed to go, and then you get hit with something.
Yeah.
And I think the way
Yeah.
that you handled that was really, really good. That says a lot for people because one way or the other, we're all going through the same exact sequence. You know, we're getting pushed. We hold on with, fingernails and we're like, okay, I'm going to let go now and I'm going to trust you. And then you go and something pops up and something pops up and something pops up and you're continuing to, and I say that all the time, this is where all the crazy people hang around, because all these decisions that we've made have kind of pushed us out of, I guess you would say, the matrix. And that includes families and traditional roles and all that stuff. And we do have a tendency, because it's built into our conditioning to doubt ourselves and to think that we're, whatever. But the fact is, we're all still here. We're all still listening to the guidance. We're all still probably, just have, a little bit of money, in the bank, and it's all being, everything that you get or that you